Hello, guys. Welcome back to S3D. And today I wanted to talk about Gunpla versus Robot Damashi. Now, here's something very interesting. This is something I've been wondering if Bandai was ever going to address. So basically, even with the newer Robot Damashi figure, the version anime figure, I noticed like all of them are still using the old ball joint style hips. The ball joint style hips is very robust. It works, but unfortunately, it hinders a lot of the articulation. For people who collects Marvel Legends figures, like Hasbro uses the ball joint hips. I think they still do it with the SH figure art figures too. So with the robots, the biggest problem with the ball joint hips on most of these robot figures is the inability for them to do the splits. The only figure that I was able to do a decent split is the Dom, which is a super bulky figure, but somehow Bandai engineered that figure to be able to do the split, even though you don't really see the Dom doing any sort of kicks or anything like that in the anime. I don't think any of the Gundams or the Zakus do like roundhouse kicks or anything like that. If when they do a figure like the G Gundam, yeah, the G Gundam should be able to do that. I'm pretty sure the Robodamashi G Gundam is able to do a kick, but unfortunately, I would say like 90% of the figures in the Robodamashi line cannot do the splits whatsoever. Now with the Gunpla, that's a different story because the a lot of the Gunpla model kits are actually engineered with universal joints for the hips. So they're able to, they're using the polycap technology or they're using that very special universal joint system, which allows them to do the splits. So that is one big point that goes to Gunpla. The way that it's just the nature of the product. Like they're designed like that. One way is like they made it like that so they can use the polycap piece for the hip joints, but in doing so, they actually make the product better. They improve the articulation overall by using that design. So there is definitely a benefit of owning Gunpla if you're into doing like martial arts style poses and stuff like that. I know it's kind of weird. I don't see a lot of people doing that when it comes to giant robots. If you want to do like martial arts move, you're probably better off collecting humanoid action figures. Uh, Most of them can be able to pull that off, unless you're into a Hasbro Marvel Legends or the Spider-Man figures can barely do a split. So that's kind of sad. And I know a lot of people make fun of that. But yeah, this is something very interesting to talk about. I find it, for me, is very frustrating sometimes when it comes to uh, my figures not being able to do the splits or poses like this. Now, this right here, this Robot Spirits Gundam Mark II, that's actually a pretty old figure, and somehow some of the older Robot Damashi figures able to pull that off, but the version anime figures, a lot of them are just designed in a way that they don't utilize that hip joint very much. Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know why they decided they no longer want to let the version anime figures to pull off like martial arts move, because I guess none of them actually do anything like that in the actual anime. So it doesn't make any sense for them to be able to do that. Even Char Zaku, right? Char is barely able to pull off his red comic kick. Like the hip joint is just stuck in that position. So if you pose it right, you might be able to kind of fake it. But if you have the Gunpla, like the HUC revive version of the Zaku 2, the Char Zaku 2, you're gonna be able to pull that off very easily. So yeah, so definitely some points going toward Gunpla when it comes to people who enjoy putting the robots in like kicking poses, and that's actually something that I enjoy doing. And unfortunately, when it comes to this aspect of collecting, that's something I have to think about. Like how is a cheap plastic model kit able to pull off something like this when a more expensive action figure not able to do that because of engineering related issues. Now this is actually very interesting to me. I do not recall the Zeta the Gundam Mark II ever pulling off a kick move like this, but it seems like they advertise it on the Robot Tamashii figure, and they also advertise it on the Gunpla. So I'm assuming this is something that the Mark II is known to do. The Mark II have done some sort of flying kick thing. Very interesting. Anyway, that is pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys.